G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today's going to be a quick one. We're going for Collage Club August 2022. Thank you to all of my Collage Club members for joining me yet again for another month of these printables. I have printed on matte photo sticker paper this month, and I've used my Silhouette Portrait 3 as per usual to make them essentially US letter size kiss cut sticker sheets, which is how I get the most use out of all of my Collage Club printables. You can see here I've got some just off to the side. These I only have a few little bits and pieces left on the page, and I do turn the backing of these sticker sheets into handmade sticker books. Where is it? I'm working on one right now, but here it is. There's one here. I used all the backings to make this sticker book and Traveler's Notebook size so that I could transfer all of my loose flake seals and or random stickers into here. So this is how I get to kind of recycle that. And I've got enough to make another book already, so I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to have another one because I've got a whole bunch of stickers I need to add to another one of those. Anyway, that's how I do it. That's how it's been done for me from the beginning, and I do include those silhouette files whenever I make them for myself because it's obviously just no extra hassle for me to put them in there. They're not technically included in Collage Club, but it's something I've been doing since the beginning. And I think I've only not done a few of the sheets. I think most of the time I do it selfishly because that's what I want. And yeah, if you've got a silhouette cutting machine, you can use those as well. Anyway, let's get into it. You know the drill. All the information's in the description box if you want to get to know Collage Club a little bit better. But this is everything we'll have in this month's set. There are 5 sheets. I did have enough to put in extras. Like we did a lot throughout July. I am going to save those though, because I could just give you all the bonuses, but I think it's better if I just spread them out and keep them in their little collections. We don't need to just throw everything I've got all at you at once. And even though I struggle not to do that every month, there are a lot of illustrations in here already. So excited to see how much of them you can actually get through. Here is just sketches. Each page is kind of themed here. I've got sketches, I've got kind of Disney work, I've got Instagram live stream kind of work, more working with styles, developing styles, and then I've got an Alice and Blue Fairy sheet. So a lot of this you might end up seeing kind of versions of in Virtual Voyage 7 planned for August, and I'm really excited about that. We're doing a 4-day workshop. So yes, if you're seeing things and you're thinking, oh, that matches the theme that we're doing, you may or may not see it. There's no promises, but this is a lot of the concepts that I'm going through and the styles that I'm working with and playing with to develop lessons for that workshop and to develop that content. So you are likely to see stuff that does look really familiar to this, and even little hints and nods and sketches for lessons that you'll end up doing. I'm not going to tell you which ones though. We'll just have to wait until the workshop, and I'm excited for that too. A lot of this is Tinkerbell. I have favorites with Disney characters. It's usually Cruella, Tinkerbell, the Neverland Mermaids. I love to do Alice. I love, who else do I love? I mean, typically Cruella. I do Cruella a lot. Cinderella, Snow White too. I think Snow White's really cute. She's kind of grown on me. A lot of this is Tinkerbell. We did some of these in Instagram live lessons, just been working on styles. This one I did a long time ago for, I think it was Sketchflix for The Little Mermaid. And I love this kind of Tim Burton-esque 20s, 30s Snow White. This one was a really old school sketch done in my massive A3 journal. That was a cutie pie stamp that I just did with a scribble texture kind of fill, and I really love that. This was done at Disneyland. This is my passport journal, this kind of new little pocket passport journal I've been taking around, and I was sitting in front of the train station to do this one, and just in front of, I think it's the Emporium, or the one on the corner, whatever one that one's called. Sorry if you see little hairs on my page. I just went to the barber and I've got little fuzzy hairs flying around everywhere. What else is new? If it's not cat hair, it's my hair. That is the sketchy page there. And this is kind of Disney. It's not like I have to stick to themes or anything, but sometimes if there's enough of one certain thing, I will kind of theme it all. So this was all my Disney work that I was doing. Some for Art Journaling the Magic. This one was old school Mary Blair gouache. I was working on a guest lesson for Mindy Lacefield's Illustrative Flair course. Some of this I've been working on certain styles that I was developing for lessons, and really excited to share some of that with you. This was something I taught in Art Journaling the Magic, these wedge dress princesses. Since that course, that workshop was kind of citrus grove themed, like summer picnic, Disney, citrus, like all kinds of inspirations merging together there. I came up with this kind of citrus wedge princess dress concept, and I had a fun time teaching it and making all these samples for it. So I've got some bell lemon wedge dresses back here as well. So that's some of the that makes sense. Also, because we use golden books in Art Journaling the Magic, if you see this iconic pattern down the side here, that's what these little illustrations are about. I took the Disney equivalent of the animal on the spine and was working on my own kind of pattern for it. I may or may not revisit that idea for all my Art Journaling the Magic people. I'm not quite sure about it, but I included those there because they're cute little illustrations. When you look at stuff like this, I just wanted to make note, like I didn't try to draw her looking like she was only half wearing a dress. She was at the side of my journal. You don't see that when I scan it and clean it up because it's all laid out, you know, Tetris style to fit the most in. But yeah, when she was in my book, I didn't even have the rest of the back of her dress properly. So when it all got cleaned up, it just kind of looks like she's missing that. So please feel free to grab a blue pencil and add that on when you use it. If you like it like this, it's fine. But I mean, it really wasn't supposed to look like a floor-length apron. Just sometimes that happens when you're cleaning up the images and you actually don't have the back half. Like you can see here, this doesn't have the back side because it was too close to the edge of something. Even this, I did too close to the gutter of the book. So she's missing a little bit. You'll see that often. She's missing the side of her coat because when I'm journaling, sometimes I'll journal right up to the edge of the page and yeah, just doesn't exist, that part of the image. So therefore it's not on your sheets. I've included little thumbnail sketches as well. I don't know how many people are interested in stuff like that, but I love looking at concept art and also the developmental stages of artworks and styles and processes. And I have Hobonichi Weeks is my new planner, and there are so many teeny tiny little like little squares and little journal entry spaces that I wanted smaller bits of ephemera. So these are going to work really well for me personally, and that is selfishly what I'm always kind of going for, stuff that'll make me excited to use it. Because like I say, I already have all this in my journals, so I've got to make it some kind of appealing for me to want to use it again. And I do, I use lots of them. This is page number 3. We have lots of Instagram live stuff. There are some random bits and pieces thrown in there as well, just things that I liked. But like we did that Instagram live Morticia Adams. This was the one that I was thinking about and that I had just done in my journal beforehand. So I wanted to add that one in there as well. The big Tim Burton inspired Barbie doll, the big Tim Burton-esque Ariel that we did. Jasmine, we did that on a live stream. Some of these we didn't do on a live stream, like that Ariel we didn't. This was the fashion trio we did on live. I think we did her on live. The Jessica Rabbit we did live. Yeah, just wanted to give you some of that live stream stuff since we do experience that together. So it might be fun for your journals if you were someone that participated in that. Also, there are lots of things. I mean, I know I say this often, but, you know, we have lots of people that join Collage Club, and then we have people that come back, or we have people that are new or been here for ages, wherever you're at. I always like to reiterate the same information, but there are lots of different varying stages of complete in this collection of work that I give you, and I am so open to how you use them. In fact, people use them in all different ways. Some people use them decoratively and just kind of decorate their planners and their journals and stuff. Put it next to their writing. I love that. I do that a lot, mostly because I've already done the artwork for it. But there are some times where I will either, you know, collage it all together, Frankenstein it up and make something new out of it, or I will just like slap it on my page and then start working from there, copying it essentially, or kind of making a derivative of it, or using it as inspiration for a new piece. And I want to just make sure you know that you feel encouraged to do that, and that you're absolutely allowed to do that. I fully support you doing that. There is so many varying styles and different types of work here. If there is something that calls out to you and you think, you know what, I really want to have a go at that, just literally put it on your page and start drawing next to it. Draw over the top of it so you can get a feel for what those lines are doing, and then, you know, retrace it out and see if you can kind of get how that style comes together. I love to teach that stuff, but not everyone can do the workshops, and not everyone chooses to do the workshops. And some people really like to teach themselves how to do it. I'm someone that taught myself how to do a lot of things just by watching and observing and kind of copying and understanding it that way. So I just want you to make sure you know that you have the permission to do that, and that I fully encourage and support it. The only thing I ask is that you, if you feel comfortable, share it with us so that we can all enjoy what you come up with. Because it is always fun and really flattering to see you know, that the work encourages you to do your own versions, or even just have a go at what it is and see if you can enjoy it the way I enjoy it. So there you go. bit of a pep talk halfway through. This is page number 4. This, like I said, sketching, you can use these to color in if you would like to color them in. They're sketchy, but they're somewhat cleaned up. And then this is all a bit of a style development process. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much about what you're seeing here because it says Virtual Voyage 7 written all over it for me. But yeah, I was really, really excited to continue to work on this style and start to see it represented in different characters, and it just was really exciting for me. So yeah, that will most likely come up in Virtual Voyage 7. This I did in Art Snacks. It was my little first piece that I did before the Art Snacks challenge that made me nervous that I wasn't going to be able to make anything good that month. I always psych myself out, but I put it in here because now I am proud of what I did. Little sketches. These were the lemon wedge bell princesses that I was talking about, the wedge dress princesses from Art Gelling the Magic. I ended up doing many different versions of them, so there's just a small bunch. She's the one that I actually taught on the day, and it never really happens, but this was probably the best one, like the cleanest one that I liked the most. I like the gouache one because it was kind of fun and exciting and scary to do it really quickly, but this one did turn out the neatest. And it's rare when you're teaching a lesson that becomes like the example that you're most proud of. Usually that's the time where you do it the worst. We always have this joke about it, but yeah, that was the one I taught. So I made her a little bit bigger for you. I'll just say, when I make these silhouette files, for them to fit within the registration marks, they do shrink down a lot. But if you print these full size, I've made sure that I've started putting the illustrations all the way up to the border, so you can really maximize how much of the page you're printing on and get them as full scale as you can. If you are savvy with Photoshop though, and you want to download the PNGs, those are pretty good to resize. So if you are savvy and you want to cut this out and maybe make it a bit bigger, and you know how to do that in Photoshop, the PNGs will probably be a bit better quality to be able to resize. And I'll let you go ahead with that, see if you want to do it. Yeah, that's that. A lot of style development on that page. And then these are all pretty finished. This one's old drawing of Alice. This was going to be an Alice page, but then I was working on Blue Fairy stuff, and I thought I would add that in there just so it wasn't all one thing. I give you a lot of Alice stuff, and Blue Fairy is new, and I want you to have at least a few things that look like Virtual Voyage if you are planning to join us, so you can get them in your planners and get excited for what's coming up, and start to document that, because it's only a 4-day workshop. It's gonna fly by, so we need to kind of get that pre-excitement into the mix so that we can really stretch out and maximize how much of the experience we feel like we've gotten out of it. I'm excited. I'm nervous for the 4-day version, but I think it'll be really fun, and it'll be nice and challenging. But for me anyway, hopefully it just feels super exciting and fun for you guys. Here is a bunch of Alice's. This was all inspired by Mary Blair. This was it doesn't exactly look like this, but this is very close to the Mary Blair piece that I referenced. And then these are derivatives of that. And I started with this one, then I ended up with this one, and then this was the last one. And I think she was my favorite. Yeah, anyway, these were the 3 Alices I did from Art Snacks, and they're all just really like a tiny bit different. But that was the point of my Art Snacks video for July, was to show that if you did the same thing over and over again, even if you had the same materials, the same colors, you approached it exactly the same way, in exactly the same order, with exactly the same hand, is near impossible to recreate something exactly. So that, hopefully people felt like a little more encouraged by that. I know that when you're starting out your art journey, you feel like everything has to be unique, and especially when you're learning from people, you can sometimes think like, oh, there's not enough of me in there. But I always think that, even if you're doing something exactly the way someone else did it, the parts of you are still going to show up, because it is impossible for you to recreate it exactly. And so it always just feels like there is something inherently unique about everything that you do, even if it looks similar or the same to something else. Because these all, at first glance, they honestly do look like 3 of the same, but if you put them all next to each other, you can see the differences. Anyway, this was an Alice that I did for that lemon wedge princess dress lesson that I was possibly thinking of teaching this one. Turned out it was a bit involved, so I scrapped that for the Belle one, which I preferred. And yeah, my blue fairies, my little mixed media blue fairies, which is Virtual Voyage 7. So can't talk about it. That's it. Those are the 5. There are tons of illustrations in here. I should count them one day, but I mean, you can see even on one sheet alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I think maybe I count that right, 17 on one page. That is just a lot to work into your journals. So hopefully you have enough to play with. I'm sure you will. And I will see you again next month if you're joining us for Collage Club again next month. And yeah, I'll have even more. I've done this thing now where I have a file, just for anyone that's curious. I have a file on my computer that says, I think it says Collage Club pictures to use. And every time I do something and I go and scan it, I put it straight into that folder. Every time I look through an old journal and I'm just kind of browsing and I think, oh, I haven't done that in Collage Club, I really like that, I'll scan it and I'll just put it into this massive Photoshop. It's like a big square in Photoshop that's maybe like, 25 inches by 25 inches, just like a big canvas, and I lay out all of the little images that might be used in Collage Club. So that way that I can see collections start to form. Like I saw all these Alices start to pop up, I saw all these Tinkerbells start to pop up, and I can try and make the sheets a little bit more cohesive, but also I can fill in gaps a little better so that you don't feel like there's any waste of paper anywhere. And it's been working out really well for me, and it is just, I don't know, I just felt like I'd share that that's how I'm doing it, just in case you do your own Collage Club type thing. That would be my my new piece of advice for you, is to keep a folder or keep a file like that. And it keeps me excited because I can see it going in there, and then I can see it filter out into Collage Club, and I can see what's still in there and what's coming up. And I can put lots of stuff in there and feel really prepared. I will just be honest, it's what day is it today? It's the 23rd, and this is all complete. I'm mostly going to credit that to this new system that I have that, it was just so much easier to select everything. Also, I had a pretty big month of illustrating and journaling this month, especially with workshops, preparing for my own, and also participating in the Art Journaling the Magic one. That's usually when the content gets real, it really amps up production at that point. So anyway, I gotta go and work on my other stuff, but that's Collage Club. I hope you have a great month with it. I'll see you again next month. I'll also see you around on YouTube for other videos, and for anyone joining us in Virtual Voyage 7, can't wait to see you there as well. Have a great day. Bye.